edition of Box Seat. I'm Adam McGrath, and again joined by Ian Lenson. Ian, 8 races at Belmont Park, and there was a few that I found very hard to find the winner.
Yeah, it gets a lot harder as we go through the program. There's a few small races to start the day, but they have some pretty talented horses in that we can assess. But you are right, it gets very difficult towards the end.
Race number 1 is a small field. Before we have a look at that, we'll take a look at the conditions. The rail is going to be out 9 metres. A mostly sunny day, 23 degrees. We will wait for the track rating as well. Obviously some rain in Perth, but it is meant to be clearing over the next 2 days as well. So make sure you check the RAWA website or have a look at Perth Racing on Twitter as well. We'll be updating all of the details. Race number 1, as we said, it is the 1400 metre race, the West Speed 3-year-old plate, scheduled to commence at 12:28. And although a small field of just the 6 runners, we do see some impressive types. And no more than Senso last start, which returned with a 3-length win over Chansky.
Yeah, really looks unbeatable from what we saw of that last performance. There is a couple of queries going up in distance and weight, but what it did last start was phenomenal.
Went straight to the front, was too hard to catch. Let's take a look at that victory before we analyse.
On the back of 44 Red, now starting to push into the open. On its outside, though, is Poetic Flash, just holding it a little tight. Mary Abacus is getting home reasonably well along the rail, but it's still Senso. Senso clear, out 2 lengths over Chansky when they come to the 150. Senso's going great guns. Chansky's making no impression on Senso, and Senso's going to record a very easy first up win. Senso all the way. Over 2 lengths to Chansky. Poetic.
Yeah, simply dominant. That was against Chansky, who had been beating up on horses consistently this campaign. So the fact that Senso came out and did that was very encouraging. Now, slight queries with the weight and distance, but it looks to me like it's got plenty up its sleeve.
Career high by 1.5, as you mentioned, but
yeah.
I don't think that'll play a part in this race. At number 2, Reverend John was a last start winner as well. William Pike rode, sat back in the pack, sprinted on and was able to beat Cubit and Cundy in the final stages. Cubit and Cundy gets a 1 kilo swing. How do you assess these 2 runners together?
I think it's much the same again, but look, Reverend John came from well off the speed. Now, that day did suit horses from off the pace. And Cubit and Cundy probably had the run of the race, so probably just edging with the 2 Reverend John, but really nothing between them.
Let's take a look at selections then for race number 1. I'm going to be tipping number 1, Senso. From number 3, Cubit and Cundy, number 2, Reverend John, and number 4, Poetic Flash.
And 1 Senso well on top from number 2, Reverend John. Number 6, Celtic Wizard, I think can improve. And number 3, Cubit and Cundy.
Race number 2 at Belmont Park. It is Australia. Race number 4 for our Singapore viewers. It's a West Speed handicap over the 1200 metres. Last start, Loopy's Ladies was a very good winner, beating Ratana Beach. But there's a few in this field I think we expect to improve.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, 2 Loopy's Ladies was fantastic, but there are a few horses here that really should develop. The one, Amorio, was great last start. Rotana Beach wasn't too far away from Loopy's Ladies. And then, of course, Daisy Express and It's Dynamite with William Pike getting on board.
We talked about Loopy's Ladies. Was an impressive win last start. Was able to take the sit and then move around here late in the final stages. Let's take a look at that victory now.
Park. And as they'd straightened up, Rhino's Lab was quickly joined by Gold Club, Rotana Beach and Loopy's Lady behind them, having to steady now coming around the heels for its run. Rotana Beach by the 200 went up to Gold Club. Loopy's Lady is starting to gun them down though with 100 left to go. Gold Club, Rotana Beach and now Loopy's Lady. Loopy's Lady descends upon the other duo, hits the front, draws away, and there's one for Lucy to start the day. Loopy's
yeah, great effort there by the 2 Loopy's Ladies. Look, it was the run we had been expecting for some time. I think we've nearly tipped at every start, but it's drawn well here. Jordan Turner will take the claim. I think Loopy's Ladies has a slight edge on the opposition here.
With Jordan Turner taking the claim as well, it means it meets horses like Ratana Beach at the same weight, so
yeah.
Expecting a very similar performance. Another horse that I want to take a look at, number 6, Daisy Express, has had the 8 starts for 6 places, hasn't done anything wrong, can't quite win, but I think in a field like this, when you look at the form lines as well, it should be very competitive.
Yeah, we have form behind Cubit and Cundy and Headlander Boy. Good recent form as well behind Peter Perfect, who was almost the winner there. Drawn really quite well. Look, it's a bit of a non-winner at this point, but always consistent.
Number 7, It's Dynamite, was ridden by Paul Harvey last start. William Pike's ride with the 56 kilos from Barrier 1. Bit of an unknown last start. We'd only seen the 400 metre trial, and prior to that was a 600 metre trial at Kalgoorlie as well. Worked home strongly from a back marker position. What are you expecting in this race?
Look, I think it has to improve. I don't think that race was the strongest, now 3-year-old race that we've had in this month, but what it did was good along the fence, extended quite nicely. So within the increase in distance and perhaps William Pike, there's a lot to go onto that run. You
mentioned Amorio as well. Chloe has a party to ride, so just the 56 kilos, drawn nicely in barrier form. We know that this horse does have speed.
Yeah, it was great last start. will probably work out to be a decent form race, with War in Paris going quite well on Wednesday, so Amorio should be thereabouts.
Let's take a look at selections then for race number 2, and I'm going with the same exact that we saw last start. Loopy's Ladies from Ratana Beach, throwing in number 6 Daisy Express for 3rd, and number 7 It's Dynamite for 4th.
I'm with you with the 2 Loopy's Ladies on top. Number 1 Amorio, the 7 It's Dynamite, and number 6 Daisy Express.
Race number 3 at Belmont Park is Australia. Race number 6 for our Singapore view. It's a West Speed Stayers, a bonus handicap over the 2100 metres. And I thought this was a strong field. The likes of Zorance, Military Service, Demuro, Doubtable put in a good run last start as well.
Yeah, no, Doubtable was a great run at huge odds. Demuro also at big odds gave a lot of cheek and almost got the chocolates. And of course, we have the informed stayers in Zorance, Battle Ace and Military Service.
Well, Military Service has won 2 in a row. Really enjoys a bit of sting out of the track again. Jake Casey to ride. He's ridden in both those winners as well. Let's take a look at the victory last start.
In the field, then Amorosa back in the centre. Spondula headed the remainder as Venedy dropped out. Trade Up still in front. 250 left to go, but here comes the favourite, Military Service. Military Service levelled up the Trade Up, and here comes Spondula. It's getting home brilliantly from back in the field. Military Service, though, kicks away from Spondula, and it's Military Service coming away. Wins it comfortably at the end. Military Service 2 lengths to Spondula.
Military Service has just been beating up on those midweek fields. Can't really seem to bring that form to a Saturday, and there is a correlation with it and wet track, so it's certainly right in this, especially when you consider the weight, but I just have a slight caution. I don't think it'd be too short in this field.
Zorance will open as our short price favourite. I think we can be pretty confident of that. Jordan Turner to ride, so just the 56 kilos. Does look pretty hard to beat. Met Battle Ace 2 starts to go in the same race, same weight for a 1.3 length swing, so I think Zorance will be very hard to beat in this race.
Yeah, look, I have it on top. I've probably been overly critical of this galloper, but when you look at its performances this campaign, they've all been very good, and its staying efforts have been fantastic behind Woodsville and Mystic Prince, which do appear to be the best staying form lines at the moment. So I think it is the one to beat in this field, Adam.
Demuro stepped up from the 1650 to the 2100 metres last start, was beaten by a length by Drive West, which has been in very good form as well. We see William Pike jump on board in the 54 kilos.
Yeah, it should maintain its form. That's a career low weight for Demuro, but look, that was a heavy leaders day, and I don't think that is likely to happen on the weekend, especially with more pace in the race, like with horses like Doubtable and probably Cougar Express going forward.
You talked about Doubtable there with the speed. Meets Zorance and Battle Ace 2 kilos better from last start and wasn't beaten by much.
Yeah, that's right. Look, it was super honest on speed, but once again, that was the leader's day where it held on that front position. I probably prefer the build-ups of Zorance and Battle Ace.
Let's take a look at selections, and I'm going to be tipping number 6 Demuro on top from number 1 Zorance, number 4 Military Service, and number 2 Battle Ace.
1 Zorance on top from number 3 Cougar Express, the 2 Battle Ace, number 6 Demuro.
Race number 4 at Belmont Park. It is Australia. Race number 8 for our Singapore viewers. And Ian, although Rebel Kings come out of this field, it is still very strong, and I'm looking forward to seeing the likes of New Time, Brother Patrick proceed with caution, and even Rawson and Resonates going head to head in this battle.
Yeah, I'm actually half relieved that Rebel King's out because it was tough to read after last start. It was poor, and backing up here, I just didn't know what to do with it. So I guess it makes it a little bit clearer, but it's still quite difficult to assess.
We're going to take a look at the replay of Resonate's last start. It was an honest performance, was beaten by Red Aura. Let's take a look at the closing stages now.
McScar coming at War Prince together. War Prince, McScar, 2 lengths Resonates. A similar margin, Thunder Love and Young Lionel, Mickey Two Toes. Red Aura's getting to the outside now and starting to run on, and so's Need a Lift. War Prince kicking down on the inside. Here's Red Aura though. Red Aura, Resonates went to War Prince. On the outside, Need a Lift, but Red Aura hits the front from Need a Lift. Red Aura's back today. Red Aura's won it. He's come from nearly last at the turn.
It Resonates was outstanding on that occasion, and really its last 3 runs have been absolutely brilliant against a very high-class opposition. William Pike remains on board, and it has drawn a nice position. Should probably get the run of the race.
The horse I'm quite excited about in this race is number 6 Rorted. I think with the way that the fields have been going in the recent form, we might get a nice each-way price about this horse. Career low weight, and you go through even the form lines when it drew with Miss Rose Delago in a 78 plus as well. Carried the 57.5 that day. It's only carrying 52.5 here.
Yeah, I was dreaming of Rorted last night when I did the form. Just possessed my dreams. I'm really happy to have this on top. This is so well weighted, and we look at its first up run behind Wink and a Nod, dropping 4.5 kilograms on that. This is the weight horse, and it is about to peak third up.
Quick comment on New Time and Proceed with Caution. We know that they're both classy animals.
Well, New Time, I think, will benefit from Rebel King coming out, and look, what it did last start was outstanding. Still up at the 59.5 kilograms versus a talented bunch. And the 4 Proceed with Caution, well, it hasn't won above 57 kilograms. has drawn wide, but certainly another one that will benefit from Rebel King coming out because it makes it a bit easier to get across.
Let's take a look at selections then. I'm going to be tipping number 7 Resonates. From number 6, the horse you were dreaming about, Rorted. Number 1 in New Time, and number 4 Proceed with Caution.
Yeah, same 4 as you, just the top 2 the other way around with 6 Rorted on top from 7 Resonates. Number 1 New Time and number 4 Proceed with Caution.